Welcome to episode 4 of Shmuppin with JT and the Hambone. I'm JT.
And I'm the Hambone. In today's episode, we will be covering R-Type Leo, a horizontal shooter released in 1992 by Irem. It is a 6-level shmup that loops. It is the 4th in the R-Type series, even though, chronologically speaking, the events take place before R-Type. So
Yes.
it is the Phantom Menace of the R-Type series.
The prequel sequel.
The prequel sequel. There are a few things you need to know about R-Type Leo. It's pretty simple, though. So the first major component of this is the first power-up you get is your force bits. It is a take on the original R-Type where you have your force, which is the large spherical ball thing.
Right, you used to be able to connect it to the front of your ship or the back of your ship.
So the take on an R-Type Leo, actually, it is covering both the top and bottom of your ship.
You just have like two little small bits, like one above your ship, one below your ship.
So those act as like a secondary firing weapon, and also, much like the force ball in the first one, it is a shield as well.
Yes, very important.
And then we also have your basic, you have your speed up, which is pretty straightforward. You have your secondary shot, another secondary shot with the missile, which is a homing missile that comes out both on the top and the bottom of the screen, and then will home in on any enemy you can kill. And then finally we have the main weapon, where you have, there's 3 different types of weapons you can have. You can have the red, which shoots out a giant straight laser.
Yeah, it's just a solid beam.
And then you also have the blue, which is from the first R-Type, which is the blue lasers that kind of shoot out at different angles and reflect off of stuff and kill everything.
Anyone who's played an R-Type game will immediately know the blue lasers. They just go up and down at 45-degree angles and bounce.
Right. And then finally you have the green shot, which is a homing shot. So it'll initially shoot 3 large green shots, and then it has 2 little shots in the top and bottom that kind of like will go up in the top and the bottom of the screen and like seek enemies.
Yeah, they kind of go at like right angles. They go out and up and then shoot over and kill enemies.
Yeah, I mean, and that's pretty much it as far as power-ups and things like that you need to collect in the game. The scoring is pretty straightforward. There's no chaining elements. There are no hidden items, hidden bonuses.
Not that we found.
Not that we found, but you never know. Maybe one of you guys out there knows something we don't.
One thing new with this is it fires. You can fire backwards. So if you push forward, you actually start firing behind you, and if you hit left, it'll start concentrating all your shots forward. So you can actually fire behind you, which is unusual for R-Types.
Yeah, very unusual, but you'll need it at some points, as you'll see later. And I think we forgot to mention how the force bits work, though, because
you can shoot them out.
You can shoot them out much like the force ball in R-Type. The slight difference is like it'll home on stuff, but it has its own like power meter, much like the wave cannon in the first one, where you have that your charge shot. Yeah. This has its own meter, so once that meter runs out, they just kind of go lifeless and kind of hover around, either until you run over them and physically pick them up, or you can actually hit the button again to recall them.
It sucks them back in.
And it sucks them back in.
Yeah, so if you have a full bar, you shoot them out, and they just go nuts finding anything that they can kill. So they can wipe out all the enemies in a screen in like a second. So it helps to kind of clear the room. And then as soon as that bar goes all the way down, they start just floating back lifeless to you. And as soon as you suck them back in, your power bar starts going back up.
And then it's good to know, though, also once you shoot the force bits out, you lose the ability to use like your main weapon. So if you had like the laser, for example, and you shot your force bits out, you can only shoot the normal
you just have your little pea shooter until you suck them back in.
Until it comes back. So you have to find a fine balance of using that with your normal shot. Yeah,
typically there's a lot of guys on the screen. You fire your bits out, they kill everything, you suck them back in real quick before bullets start happening, because you want them to act as a shield to protect you from the bullets that are probably coming from all the guys that you just cleared out. And then also it starts recharging them, and you get your weapon back. So it's usually just shoot them out real quick, suck them back in.
Yep.
But it's pretty easy game, and gameplay's pretty straightforward. So let's check it out.
Yeah, let's get on to the games.
All right. 3, 2, 1, let's go.
Let's go. The catchiest part of the game. 3, 2, 1, let's go.
Yeah, that'll get you.
Every time.
Every time.
All right. So here's our first power-up of the game.
Gives you your bits.
Yep. Second power-up of the game. Speed up.
Yep. And I know it's not in your case, but in my case, that is the only speed up I ever get, unless I die.
All right. So now, after the second time you pick up the power-up, weapon shot, I should say. That's when you get the color.
Right. So the first one
makes sense.
Doesn't matter what color you pick up. The first one, it's just going to give you your bits no matter what. Right. So this is the red shot. You want the red shot for the first 2 levels.
Yes.
You can get by with green. Don't get blue.
Don't get blue. Ever.
Yeah.
I mean, you get it by accident, whatever. But.
Well, there's one part in level 6 where you kind of want it. But even then, you don't really need it.
Yeah. Alright, pretty straightforward.
Yeah. You saw those big snakes coming out of the thing. If you're going for points, let them come all the way out so all their segments are out before you kill them, because each one of those segments is points. But unless you're going for points, really don't worry about it.
Yeah. Just kill them.
Yeah. So there you got the missiles now.
Well, if you didn't know those guys were coming out at those angles, that might be a little tricky.
Yeah.
But
it may take a couple games before you remember not to sit top front center or top bottom center when those dudes are coming out.
Asteroids. Now, just so you know, it is illegal to saucer hunt.
Deep reference. Asteroids reference.
Deep cuts.
But as you see, like after you're fully powered up, which we are at this point, you do not need to get any more power-ups. They're only worth 100 points. So even if you're point hunting, who cares?
Right.
It'll just distract you. Ignore them. The only reason you want to maybe get one is to clear them off the screen so you don't accidentally switch to blue.
Right.
That would be nice.
Alright, first boss. Kill the little bits on the sides there, the little pinchers.
Yeah, you kill the top one first because he's got a little thing that comes out, and then you kill the bottom one, and then just
wail on him.
Wail on the center. And if he starts glowing, that means he's going to shoot that beam out. Just get out of the way. It's pretty simple.
Yeah, very simple.
2, 1, let's go.
Yeah, level 2.
Yeah, you still want to probably you'd stick with the red, but you can easily switch to green in this level.
Yeah,
I mean,
red or green is no big deal.
Just no blue. No blue.
For the boss, preferably, you like to have the red shot because it's the most powerful.
In this level, you do start shooting out your bits a lot more than first level.
Yeah, this is where the environment of the game actually comes into play, the background itself.
Yeah,
The level itself.
There are a lot of nooks and crannies you gotta navigate through. Stuff starts moving too.
Right.
Ceilings start collapsing. We'll see that shortly. So you kind of have this level's more about deft navigation than enemies.
Right. And you can see the bits actually go through the environment.
Oh yeah.
So you can kill stuff, but like right there, he's using that little platform to shield him from the bottom one,
right.
Whereas the bits just went through and killed him.
So you can keep bullets and enemies on the other side of a solid object and fire your bits through it to kill them. It's almost like sniping, but kind of.
You can snipe through walls.
So yeah, I mean, just in this level, don't hang out near ceilings and floor because stuff moves.
Things start collapsing.
Right. It doesn't take a long time for you to memorize what stuff is going to move and what not. So, again, fairly straightforward level.
And this is where shooting backwards comes in handy right at this point.
Yes. Because you got guys coming up behind you. If you don't fire backwards, they will sneak up on you and pow.
You will lose your life.
Yes.
Alright, we're at the boss already.
Yeah, so these are short levels.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a short game. These aren't 4-minute levels.
Which is nice.
Yeah.
For those who remember our last episode of Grindstorm. Alright, second boss. You can't do the difficult part of those spinning
is not to do what I'm doing here and getting caught in a corner.
Yeah, don't get caught.
So it's hard to, but you almost want to take your focus away from the boss and just make sure you're running around those, because he doesn't have a lot of hit points, and if you have the red shot, you're going to kill him quickly. Just avoid the blue spinny things first. Do damage on the boss second.
Alright, level 3 here. This is where we switch to green shot for its homing capability. I mean, still fairly powerful if you concentrate all the shots on the one enemy, but I mean, the little guys only take like a shot or two to kill, so this is where it comes in handy.
Yeah, this level has a lot of mounds from the top and bottom with guys hiding on the other side.
Bottlenecks and stuff, like it's forcing you to go certain routes no matter what.
Yeah, so the green shot will go beyond the mounds and then fire down or up and kill the enemies on the back side.
Yeah.
Where your red shot will just run into the mound and not do anything. So you really want green for this thing.
And, you know, more and more enemies are starting to appear behind you now.
Yeah.
At certain points.
Oh, the drips.
Yeah, watch out for the... Yeah, when you kill those pitcher plant-looking things, they start dripping a viscous sap of some sort.
Yes, don't get dripping.
That's bad. That's bad.
And then here's this little nook in the top.
Just forcing those enemies to stay up there and then...
There are a couple nooks like that in this game where you have a bunch of enemies that you can just kind of trap on the other side and they'll just bounce against the wall where you can then wait for your bits to charge and then just fire it off and kill them all.
This is the home stretch of the level.
You want to start thinking about switching back to red for the boss. You can do it with that power up there, or there's one more at the end of the level.
Green or red, as long as you're powered up, you know, you have a shot at people.
With the third boss, you'll see there's a lot of navigation. Tight navigation, so for me, I just want to kill the boss quicker.
Right, as fast as possible. The thing is, like you say, you know, you're really concentrating on dodging. That's why the green will help, because it'll hit him without you trying to aim at him, so, which is nice. Howdy, y'all. Hey, y'all, it's Buford T. Hambone rapping at you again. So here today on Hambone's History Corner, we're going to talk about the maker of our type, Irem, or Irene, Adam? I don't know, whatever you want to call it. It was formed in 1974 in Japan. I believe it was based out of Ishikawa. Lovely place this time of year. Anyway, for those who are wondering, Irem stands for International Rental Electronics Machines. I have no idea what that means, but they went with it, so hey, what can you do? Irem is most famous for the R-Type series, obviously, but they also made a couple other great games. They got Moon Patrol, one of Shmuppin Stuff's favorite games of all time, and they got Kung Fu Master, a great side-scrolling beat-em-up. Once again, this company did not limit itself to just making arcade games. They did stuff for the consoles, PlayStation 1, 2, and 3 mainly, maybe some 4, who knows. And of course, R-Type made its way on each and every single one of them consoles in some form or another. Irem made a few other shmups. They got some games with some awful names, as I'm calling them. They got Thunder Blaster or Lethal Thunder. Either way, Thunder is going to kill you. We got Armed Police Unit Gallop. We got Fire Barrel, not to be confused with Heavy Barrel. Battle Chopper, you got to get to the chopper to battle. Dragon Breed. Ain't no spirit in that dragon game, that's for sure. And you got Mystic Riders, a cute little witch shoot-'em-up game that the Hambone just, it tickles his Hambone, we'll just say that. I'd highly recommend that one. Well, that's all she wrote in Irem, guys, so until next time, see y'all later.
So as you can see, the flame comes out of the top eye, so you kind of want to let it come all the way out, and then it'll wrap around whichever direction you are from it.
It's going to circle.
Yeah.
And it's important to know that if you have the bits on there, you can block those spherical shots, the round shots, with those. You cannot block laser beam or the fire snake thing.
No, don't try and block.
Do not try and block that thing. No. You'll have a bad time. Okay. On this level, I like to stick with green on this.
I go back to green.
Okay. And now you definitely pay attention to what the level is doing now. Because it's going to start forcing you to certain areas, and if you don't know where to be, enemies just spawn right on top of you.
Yeah, but this is another the little safe nooks. I typically kill a bunch of guys and then go hide behind
and then send your bits after
the little mountain.
But you can use those bits as a shield right there when it comes to that stuff.
Now here,
watch out for these guys on the bottom. They shoot lasers.
And I think they put these things in the middle of the screen so you go up and get them. Don't leave them there, because as soon as you go up to get those, that blue laser comes out at you and you're dead.
If you don't need them, obviously.
If you need them, kill the things on the ground first, and then.
But it's not worth it to get
right. So this is one where you can trap these purple guys. So you just hang down there, and they just don't know what to do. They hang out there, and just slaughter them with your bits.
With your bits. You're not idiots. Get to the meat of the level here. That green is really nice to have.
Yeah.
It really is. Alright. Now this, you need to be very precise with your movements. You want to use your bits as a shield to create a path for you eventually to take out.
If you slowly do that, you can use your bits to clear your way. If you go too fast, then you got to use your bits as shields.
That's a big mistake. All right, we're going back to that last segment though. Like you can use it as a shield, like just block everything and come up and lay waste everything at the top of it, or you can do it. You just sneak up there and just.
Right. You can get trapped.
Right. You can get trapped.
If you go too fast.
Use it as a shield.
Yeah.
However you want to do it, just do it.
But yeah, I mean, if you travel to the bottom right-hand corner too fast, they're going to trap you. You need to go through that with your bits as a shield.
This is the last segment before the boss.
It's kind of like a sort of mini boss, but not really.
Yeah, so I guess it's the first stage of the boss here.
My little trick here is you put your bit right on that dude's head, and that first beam he shoots out is absorbed by your bit, and then you can safely go in the middle.
All right. I like to have green here because I'm just dodging the whole time and blocking it.
To me, they either rotate clockwise or counterclockwise. Either way,
if you're using the green, if you have the green, there's a safe spot on the top of the screen when they start shooting these large beams, and then there's a safe spot at the bottom.
Yeah. We didn't get to the stage where if you leave them on the screen slightly longer, they pause and just fire huge beams.
But there are two safe spots on the screen. All right, this level. This is this level.
This gets a little hard.
Yeah, there's not as many enemies at some points in this, but there's a lot of obstacles.
This is you want to sit there, and as soon as these guys come from behind and start firing, just inch back, inch back, and then...
Because they're going to fire from above and below you, so you have a pretty good shield.
Same thing here, you just kind of move on the bottom screen and inch and inch and inch back. If you go full speed all the way to the back, you're pinned, all the bullets will focus on you and your screen. And this is just one of those things where you have to play it 4 or 5 times until you go, okay, this is how it's played.
It's not going to get too crazy.
But you have to know that wall of dudes is coming, because if you don't kill those right in front of you immediately, they start firing those beams out, and you're toast.
So this is the meat of the points here in the level. This is like these parts right here. Because there's not too many enemies after this, I believe.
No, you just have...
You're just making sure...
Well, no, you got these guys that go diagonal.
These guys... just clear a path.
If you have red, it clears a path like a beast. I mean,
if you have green, just don't move too much.
Right.
Just go pretty much straight forward.
But if you need to navigate north to south or vice versa, as you saw there, when you move diagonally, those are at a 45 degree angle, so you can get in between a channel of them and clear a bunch out if you need to. Like here, you have to sneak in and go up, so it's you almost parallel them. So as long as you hit that channel, you can clear them.
This nonsense.
That part a little there. I mean,
it's a little tricky.
Yeah, you gotta have a deft hand.
Now this is this you gotta make sure you don't put yourself in a position where platform spawns right on top of you.
I think with most bosses, green will do, but you want red to do the most damage. And for this, he spits 3 rounds of those fireballs out, and then he pauses and fires those beams, and he does that 3 times. And then he's going to pause and do a big...
Yeah, you can tell when he's doing that because of all the bright, pretty colors.
So you want to kind of, like at this part, now the platforms are going opposite. You still want to do the same general pattern, you're just looping different.
They're moving a little slower, I
believe. I don't know.
So you only have one platform to deal with.
But you just keep doing that. I mean, so one thing when he pauses and does that big beam, or even the 2 beams, you want to make sure, because he'll do it wherever you are on the screen.
Right.
So don't be at the bottom of the screen, otherwise he will plant those lasers at the bottom of the screen and you can't duck underneath them.
There's no more to do.
Right.
This is the caviar part of the stage. Little fish roll for you.
It is kind of.
These are egg sacs.
That's just,
Right. This is fun. This is like Donkey Kong Jr. right here.
So for me, upper left-hand corner, because the little, whatever those things are, block the bullets.
Right.
Then I go into the center and do that tap, 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 slowly tap, tap, tap thing, and then the bullets will just slowly miss in front of you. But, my God, that will frustrate you when you're learning.
That's very precise.
And I don't know, you didn't really see it for a whole lot, but now you'll start seeing these red laser beams across doorways. As soon as you touch those, it triggers enemies that come out this thing right here. So you got the red and blue laser thing. And for the most part, you want to trigger those sooner rather than later. Because if you're pinned against the back left of the screen and then you trigger them, guys are going to spawn, you're going to have nowhere to go. So you want to trigger them pretty much as soon as possible.
But this is the game's FU to you right now.
Yeah.
Like, you got it too easy, okay?
So, I mean, you have to memorize when you trigger each one, where the guys are spawning. And as long as you're ready and you know where they're coming out, it's not that bad. This is where... Oh my God.
This is very suggestive right here.
It's crazy. This part. This is the only part where blue is slightly better than green. You can still get by with green and probably red.
Right.
But the fact that even when you're going forward, the beams are going to go bounce back behind you. Blue is the way to go.
So try not to get motion sickness while you're playing this part.
It's so hard because you're dodging a bullet and then the floor runs into you, the ceiling runs into you. That might be the hardest part of the game.
They make you earn it there. This is for sure. I mean,
that might be the hardest part of the game, besides these guys. But you saw it, like, they squat on top of you, and so you're firing at that thing, and then he does a little teabag on you. You have to know, you just have to know his rhythm, so when you see the teabag coming, like, right there, you have to go down, otherwise you're dead.
Well, you saw how quickly he killed him there.
I mean, you have to get
the laser, right.
The second one of those two is hard, because he fires those 3 lasers out.
Right.
So you're dodging his legs and his lasers at the same time. It's almost luck. I don't want to say that, but this
is luck right here.
Yeah. That's just, for me, I just ate everything up and left that last one. So I could time it and make sure I had red. Because with red, you just destroy these two guys. As you can see. It's just dead. If you don't have red, those guys keep going around and they fire those bullets out. Your bits block them, but yeah, you want them dead as soon as possible. So this, you want to start off right next to the eyeball, and as soon as it starts growing, you got to get the hell out. That means that beam's coming. And then it's just a matter of dodging those lasers when they bounce off the ceiling, and then getting back in. But it's not terribly difficult.
Just in case you thought you were done.
Right, and it even makes the sound. Like after you kill a boss, there's a sound.
There's a sound.
So the first time I beat him, my arms were raised. I was like, whoa! Man. And then I saw these things start coming out. So yeah, don't pay attention to the sound. There is another stage. But that's just straightforward. You've passed earlier in the level. You passed a part where you had to dodge the caviar.
I mean that's knowing like how your bits like shields you right there. Like,
yeah, I mean that's just precise movements. I mean that's just tapper, little Shmuppin.
No, let's go.
So I guess the plot of this movie is the
movie.
You're right. It's not a movie. If it was a movie.
If it was a movie.
The plot was humans built a planet,
a quasi-mechanical Earth
that we were all going to habitate, and then it was controlled by a machine that, of course, went haywire and started killing. Major, yes. Major goes haywire, and so you're sent in the R-type Leos to blow up the planet, save people. So that was why the planet blew up. But that's about it. I mean, it's not a hard game. I think within 2 or 3 days we were getting to the last level.
Yeah, I mean the first playthrough, I think we were at least getting to the level 3 boss.
Yeah, which is, I mean, if you're breezing through 3 levels on the first playthrough, you know it's an easy game.
No, I mean, to be fair, this is the American version.
True.
So the Japanese version has at least a couple of noticeable differences, whereas
of course
the biggest one in our eyes is the whole checkpoint system. Whereas in the American version, you just respawn right in the middle of the action.
Right.
Whereas in the Japanese version, you either start at the beginning of the level or to the previous checkpoint that you got to.
Yeah, and I don't know
which is just insane.
Right, checkpoints always make a game much harder.
Right.
I don't know if the Japanese version, like in the American version, when you die, it's very kind. It drops a power-up from the ceiling, so you immediately get your bits back. So, I don't know if they do that in the Japanese version. Probably not, because they're tougher over there. But
we love them.
It's an easy game. If even if you've never played any of the original art types, it's a good place to start.
Definitely.
Yeah. All right, the Shmup-off. We thought for this one, since the game is so easy, we would do who can last the longest with 0 power-ups. No speed, no missiles, nothing.
No, nothing. All right. 3, 2, 1, let's go! We're going through space. Area 1, Paradise Planet.
Oh, secondary rule. If you accidentally pick up any power-up, you have to immediately kill yourself. Immediately. So yeah, this game, I mean, it could get a little difficult just dodging the power-ups. you gotta dodge enemies, you gotta dodge bullets, and now you gotta dodge power-ups.
Those 4 snakes. They're from Keyword, aren't they? Sneaky snakes?
Sneaky snakes?
What's the name of the snake from
Coily?
Coily! Oh boy.
What?
Oh my goodness!
You went from almost dead to getting a bunch of points.
Love it. Lit.
Ooh. This is gonna be hard.
This is gonna be fun! I can even hit them.
You may not. You just have to carve a path, essentially.
You can't do enough.
No, can't touch the missile.
Can't touch. Can't touch this.
Oh. Ooh.
Oh! Black.
Accidentally picked up the missile. Barely. Backed into it. Ooh, this is gonna be cool. This is gonna be interesting. The asteroids with no power up.
I can't. Saucer hunt!
Ooh. That was not nearly as bad as I thought it was.
Let's see this guy though.
Yeah, this is gonna be tough. We're gonna see what happens to this guy when he stays on the screen for a long time.
He just goes away!
He leaves.
He's gone. He's gone.
He's had enough of you. This is gonna be ridiculous. This is ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
Hold an arm.
No leg.
Insert.
Oh, damn it! Damn it!
Ooh, here's the question. Will the boss eventually go away?
Yeah, does the boss time out? That's a good question.
I think it does.
Well, no, there's no timer on this.
Usually bosses time out if you can leech points from them.
Yeah.
If you can't leech points from him, then I think he's gonna stick around. Unless he gets angry.
Stick around. That's awesome steam better.
Level 1 in the bank.
Like 40,000 points behind.
3, 2, 1, let's go.
Yeah. So it is.
Ooh.
Yeah, this is gonna be.
Not gonna be able to fire backwards.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna make it to that satellite thing and.
Oh, no. This is so dumb. Oh, this is gonna be brutal. Whoa! I don't know. This might be the end.
This might be the end.
Because it's gonna close in on you.
My only friend. Oh God. Yep. Woo.
This is brutal. All right.
I think it's a good challenge.
It is.
It's a good challenge.
All right.
So what did I end up with there? Like
Final score.
not even 100, right?
It was close. It was close.
105. All right. Well, 105 is the score to beat.
All right.
105 is a score to beat.
I don't know if I can do this.
I think you can do it.
It's gonna be close. It's gonna be close.
Well, I think we're both gonna get the same point in this. But
Although I did learn some stuff from your run. It's just a matter of whether I can put it to use.
Remember it.
My problem is my brain. I started daydreaming, and I'm gonna pick up power-ups. That's gonna be my plan. Doesn't work that way. My brain doesn't work that way.
Hey, Jerome. Don't breathe.
Don't pick up power-ups. Don't pick up
Whatever you
power-ups.
do, don't pick up power-ups. You don't. Ooh, yes, there you go.
Wasn't terrible.
No.
Usually you'd have about 36,000 there, something like 6,000 points down where I usually would be.
Alright, just don't die here and you'll be fine.
Yeah. Or have to commit suicide.
Alright.
I'm picking up an M.
Oh, nice. I can appreciate that. There you go. There you go.
Look at these things. Oh, they're 1,000 each? Oh, I should be killing these things. I should have paid attention to your game more. Damn.
Looks like you have this in the bag already.
There's some points right there. Yeah, this, you have a decided advantage going second since neither one of us. Oh boy, getting sandwiched. Oh, go away, come on.
Nice. Oh, nice.
Got him before I spit it out the second time. I should be killing this one, shouldn't I? I think he may have gotten me with that had I not moved.
Well, you beat the boss, you got the score, right?
Oh my god. May run out of gas. This is a workout. Shmuppin workout.
Pea shooter workout.
God.
There you go.
I don't have it yet.
Yeah. 2 seconds from now,
Close.
you'll have the
Well,
score.
no, yeah. I should have it, because I should have
You get
2,900 points before I get to
Alright.
the death. Alright, I'm going to play it out to see if I can buy that double satellite dish beanie guy. Now, that was definitely where it fell apart. There we go. Oh, nerd.
Lark.
Oh, I did like a swoop down to try and kill one of those guys. So I don't get hit in the butt with a missile.
Come on! Do it!
Oh!
Do it! No!
Couldn't do it.
Yeah, that's that.
I probably could have, in between two of those guys, when I was invulnerable, gone above the laser.
Yeah,
and
you swooped up.
that would not have been manly.
No.
All right, 111 to 105. That was probably our closest Shmup-off. And our most ridiculous, I would say.
Well, this game you had to be a little creative, I think, when it came to that.
All right,
There you go.
that was the Shmup-off.
And that was a Shmup-off.
All right, that was R-Type Leo, number 4 in the R-Type series.
Released in 1992 by Irem. Great game. I definitely recommend it to anybody who's,
Good game.
Good game?
Yeah,
All right. Well, Hambone thinks it's a great game.
Okay.
And these are the reasons why.
Okay.
Number one, it's super quick.
It is super quick.
It is super quick. 6 levels and you're done. You don't have to worry about some crazy second loop where you got suicide bullets running at you and you ran out of guys. 2, the degree of difficulty. It's pretty low. So I mean,
very accessible.
Very accessible, especially in the first 3 levels. You should be able to get to level 3 like in one of your first playthroughs.
Yeah, I guess it does. I mean, the game does make you feel good because you immediately can get to the 3rd boss, probably, and so it's good when a shmup doesn't just immediately punish you to death for the first 3 days until you learn how to play it. There's nothing you need to learn how to do here except to shoot out your bits and retract them. Right. Everything else is straightforward.
Yeah, and then finally, like as far as the scoring goes, for those who like to play for score like we do, there's no hidden chaining mechanism. There's no hidden bonus item. It's just pretty much the most points you're going to get if you do beat the game. You do get 1,000,000 points, for each guy you have in reserve.
Yep.
And the bosses give you quite a few. You're going to get more points for destroying the bosses than anything else in the
Make
levels.
it through the levels without dying.
Yep.
Kill the bosses, and you get the points.
And that's why I think it's a great game. Now, that being said, I mean, it's not something I think has a high replay value once you've learned how to play it. It's something you probably won't go back, a year from now, like, there's something else about R-Type Leo I need to discover. No, you probably found everything out in that month that you played it in.
A month is generous even,
or however long that you've played it in.
Right.
But, if you do find it in a tournament that you might be playing in, it's something you can learn and then, retain that for quite a while. Because it'll translate to other games, R-Type games and stuff like that, too.
And I guarantee you'll be saying 3, 2, 1, let's go for a long time.
Yeah, that is certainly one of the catchiest parts of that. I mean,
that might be the biggest takeaway from this game. 3, 2, 1, let's go.
The music, I like the music a lot. I like the colors, the artwork. Like it's a visually pleasing game, and I don't know. I definitely recommend it to anybody who's looking for a shmup to play.
All right, you convinced me.
All right,
it's good. I recommend it. All right, so if you like this episode, you want to check us out for future episodes. We have a Facebook page. Like us on there. Anytime we're putting out a new episode, we always post on there. You can leave comments, questions. If you have anything to add, if we missed anything in this game, tips, techniques.
Or completely wrong on something, let us know.
Yeah, right. I don't think we were on this episode, but we could have been in previous episodes. We also have a YouTube channel. You can like us there. Also, be notified when new episodes come out.
Yep.
We do stream a lot on Twitch. I'm Dr. Sage.
I'm Backdoor Fred.
That's pretty much it.
All right.
Until next time.
Keep shmupping.